Our first guest tonight is an Emmy-nominated performer and best-selling author. Please welcome back to the show our friend Amy Sedaris. Fantastic as always.
Well,
what a wonderful
nice.
choice you've made. Your sartorial style unrivaled.
Well, I was a little limited on what I could wear because John Early is
The
staying...
fantastic John Early, the
Yes.
wonderful comedian.
Well, I own the apartment above me, and he's staying there, overstaying his visit for like 2 weeks. But all my getting ready dresses are up there.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't want to go up there when someone's staying up there because then I see an unmade bed.
Yeah.
Underpants.
Oh, so you're not going out of respect for them. You don't want to spin yourself out.
I don't want to spin myself out and see an extra pair of shoes that don't belong to him. So anyway, this is what I had. But I love this dress.
So this isn't even in your first choice line of dresses.
I've had this for 5 years and I've never washed it. Choof, 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 choof. But he's funny.
How dare you?
He'll text me messages and say, I crawled down the fire escape and watched you sleep last night.
That's what your upstairs...
yeah, this is what John Early told me.
Oh my
Then he's
God.
like, when I told the doorman I was leaving, they burst into tears. And then I'll run into him on the street, and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and he's like, I just woke up. And I'm like, John, what is going on? He's pan-frying croissants up there.
Oh, my God.
But he's a good guest.
He is I don't know. It doesn't sound like he's a good guest.
he is.
Now, I like doing a check-in every time you're here.
Okay.
About your dear rabbit.
Tina Bunny.
Tina Bunny.
Yes.
Now, Tina Bunny is a male rabbit. Mm-hmm. But you have had, the first time you were on the show 9 years ago, we discussed Tina. So
I brought Tina home that night, and
Wow.
then I was freaking out that I made a mistake. This is my third rabbit. They told me it was a girl. Then 4 years later, they told me it was a boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are you consider yourself somewhat of an expert on rabbits.
I am an expert. I have a badge. I go to people's houses. I educate them.
But it took you 4 years to know that Tina was a boy.
It's tough because, they were trying to insert a catheter, and they said, Amy, this is a boy bunny.
I will say you cannot tell from the photo,
Look
but
at
this is
him.
now
He's
Tina.
chewed a few things.
He has chewed a few things, but that is his right as a rabbit.
Yes.
Getting up there in age, how long does a rabbit go?
Well, my last rabbit lived to be 12, which is old for a bunny. Tina's 10. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he started wetting my bed, peeing in my bed. I don't know why. I think it's behavioral. Because
You don't think it's age?
No, because I have experience with senior bunnies, and I think his kidneys are fine. But so I went to a surgical supply store, and I ordered a bunch of those reusable medical, bed pads,
Yeah, like
whatever.
yeah, okay.
But they arrived to my apartment building unwrapped in just like saran that said Amy Sedaris apartment 4C. So everyone in my building thinks I'm wetting my bed easily. Because I'll be down in the laundry room folding them. But anyway, he stopped peeing in my bed. Now he just leaves little droppings. They look like peppercorns. That's no big deal. So I safety pin. If you give a pad that's 48 by 48, that'll cover a queen-size bed, but they're hard to find. And so I safety pinned it on top of my, bedspread, so in case it happens. It happens between 2:30 and 3 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's just really dialed into that one certain window.
I don't know why. I mean, I went through, during the strike, I went through a George Michael hole. I'm post-hole now, but I was like...
George Michael, the singer.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
the Wham documentary. Then I got obsessed with that. Then I got obsessed with him. And maybe I was just so, obsessed with it that I was pulling focus from my attention with Tina. Maybe.
Okay.
And he was just getting even.
I see.
By acupuncture...
You're saying that maybe Tina was wetting the bed on purpose
attention.
because you were too into George Michael.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then my acupuncturist said, well, did you ask Tina? Did you talk to Tina? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, what did Tina say? And I'm like, nothing. And I haven't been back to that acupuncturist.
Yeah. That doesn't seem like it's an acupuncturist's place to say.
Oh, my God. So, that was...
Also, did you buy or are you renting the apartment next door to yours?
Okay, so then another apartment opened up in my building right next door. And I thought, well, this would be a good investment.
Sure.
So I just use it as a storage unit. So I keep my hay in there, luggage, and petticoats.
Okay.
But I do have Wi-Fi.
Well, that's great,
Fudge Pot's the name of my Wi-Fi.
You're giving away your Wi-Fi. Oh, that's just the name of the Wi-Fi. You're not giving out the password, just the name of it.
Because...
Fudge Pot, and then do your best. So these are the sort of things you would
That's
see
a
over
small
there.
amount, right?
That's
So
a
I
small
just,
amount of hay. This is
yeah.
the sort of hay. I guess it's good for you to say there's Wi-Fi. Because I think if you walked into an apartment full of hay, you might think it was an Amish person. And there might not be Wi-Fi or a need for Wi-Fi.
It reeks of goats, trust me. But I can't imagine. I mean, to combine my apartment, it's crazy to have 3 apartments in one building and
Yeah.
they're not attached. But you know, the idea of having to, you know, put a hole in my wall.
Yeah.
You know, since my husband died, I don't have anybody who can take care of that stuff for me. I don't want to think about knobs and wallpaper.
Who wants to think about knobs
Not
and
right
wallpaper?
now. No.
But you're living your best life. Knobs and wallpaper is just going to slow you down.
I know, it's crazy.
Now, when your neighbors see giant boxes of hay getting delivered, do you think they look at that the same way they look at the pea pads?
That I'm a stoner. They probably think it's just weed coming out of my house. Big
Just
boxes
giant,
of weed.
yeah, giant see-through plastic bags of hay.
Well, yeah, you said you had a goat before. You have goats?
I've never had a goat. My father-in-law had a goat.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, no.
Really?
Yeah, I inherited. It was part of my dowry, is that I inherited. He was like, will you take my daughter's hand? And I'm like, not without a goat!
I always wanted a goat.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
No, I know.
Yeah, you know, he misses his goat a great deal and talks about it lovingly. I did not find the goat had a lot of charisma.
What was the goat's name?
Raisin.
That's
not bad.
cute.
And based on what they leave everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Not a bad.
Yeah, no,
Peppercorn
I know.
would have been a good name.
Peppercorns. Or capers. It's no big
Capers. Capers would be a very funny name for a goat.
deal. Oh, yeah. Little capers would be a doorbell.
Capers would be a great name for a kid's book about a goat who pulled crimes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Capers the goat.
Yes.
Yeah. And he'd be a goat burglar. It would be like a cat burglar, but you would like definitely hear them.
I would buy that
Yeah.
book.
All right, great. Well, let's work on it together. I have a bunch more questions for you. We'll be right back with more from Amy Sedaris.